So looking at sonnet 110. So we're going to break it into the 5 sections, which is the 1, the rhyming couplet, the 2, the last words, 3, break it into 4 steps, marking the breaths, and then marking the caesures. Okay, so sonnet 110, the rhyming couplet. Then give me welcome, next my heaven the best, even to thy pure and most loving breast. So the rhyming couplet is like the it's like the punchline of it, or the headline, or the tagline. It sums up what the sonnet's all about. So again, then give me welcome, next my heaven the best, even to thy pure and most loving breast. So what's it saying? It's saying, so let me at you, something like that. Okay, next section, number 2, is the last word. So we'll speak the last words of each line in order to again get a flavour of what the sonnet's about before we read it. So, there, view, dear, new. What stands out? Dear, new. Not so much there. Next bit, truth, above, youth, love. Okay, so we've got youth and love, truth. So we're in the realms of the love sonnet. End, grind, friend, confined. So maybe putting an end to some grind, I don't know. Friend confined, stuck with a friend. I don't know. And then finally, best breast. Well, some kind of pledge of love, some kind of pledge to be close. Okay, so we'll break it into 4. So each sonnet is made of 14 lines. So that's 12 in the main body of the sonnet plus the rhyming couplet. So we can break those 12 lines into 3 groups of 4. So we call those the quatrains, the groups of 4, quattro, all that. So the first break is after affection's new, line 4. The next break is after my best of love, line 8. The next the break is after whom I am confined, which is line 12. And then we've got the rhyming couplet. Okay, part 4, we'll look at the breaths. Now first we'll mark in the breaths we know we're going to breathe, which is the start and the end, and the full stops, the sentence endings, which is full stop, exclamation mark, question mark. So before alas, after breast, the start and end, full stops. Okay, at the end of the first quatrain we've got new, and so I just mark it with like a / for the breaths. After love, end, we've got the exclamation mark. And then let me just check on the confined. So I'll do it in 2 ways. So I've not marked in a full stop in confined, but then I imagine there's a full stop at confined, so, and then confined. So in the first quatrain we've only got the end breath and the beginning breath and the end breath. And that's quite a lot of lines to do on one breath. So let's look what else we have. We've got a comma on line 3 after thoughts, and a comma after most dear. A comma after alas, the first word. Now, usually in even sonnets we'll have a breath every other line, but there's no punctuation at the end of line 2. So let's resort to the thought. Let's see what thoughts make sense. Alas, 'tis true, I have gone here and there, and made myself a motley to the view. Gored to the view. Gored my own thoughts. Sold cheap what is most dear. Made old offences of affections new. Yeah, I think view. I need to check the punctuation because I've written this out, so I might have written it out incorrectly. Second quatrain, we've got a colon after strangely, so halfway through the line we've got a colon, which is not definitely a breath, but could be. Most true it is that I have looked on truth advancing strangely. But by all above, these blenches gave my heart another youth, and worse essays proved thee my best love. Okay, I would put it after strangely. And now it might be tempting to take another breath after above or after youth, but it's always better to use as fewer breaths as possible. The more breaths you take, the more it looks like you aren't in control of your own thoughts. So, most true it is that I have looked on truth advance and strangely. But by all above, these blenches gave my heart another youth, and worst essays proved thee my best of love. I think we'll go with that. And we've got the breath already marked in love. Okay, in the quatrain 3, we've got the exclamation mark at the end of the first line of it. It's after no end, so we're going to stick with that breath. And then perhaps that leaves us with 3 lines, so it might actually be the better strategy to take another breath. And we've got a comma after friend, so it's likely to be there, but let's just try it out. Now all is done, have what shall have no end. Mine appetite I never more will grind on newer proof to try an older friend, a God in love whom I am confined. Well, it's sort of optional whether you want to do it at friend or not do it at friend. I'm going to try it without, so now all is done, have what shall have no end. Mine appetite I never more will grind on newer proof to try an older friend, a God in love to whom I am confined. Okay, let's try it with the breath at friend. Maybe we'll take the extra breath. Now all is done, have what shall have no end. Mine appetite I never more shall grind on newer proof to try an older friend, a God in love to whom I am confined. Or another option would be to do it after proof. We've got the comma there. Mine appetite I never more will grind on newer proof to try an older friend, a God in love to whom I am confined. I think I might try it at proof. A bit radical, halfway through the line, but why not? Okay, what about in the rhyming couplet? We could go through right to the end, do it all in one breath. Let's try that first. Then give my welcome, next my heaven the best, even to thy pure and most loving breast. What if we took the breath at best? Then give my welcome, next my heaven the best, even to thy pure and most loving... No, I think better to flow it straight through. Marking the caesures. Now the caesures are the natural break within a line. To be or not to be, that is the question. The caesures are like the halfway point of the line. The line is pretty much made of 2 phrases. Sometimes it's hard to discern what it is. Sometimes there's a comma dividing the phrases. So in the first line, alas 'tis true, I have gone here and there. Now we've got the comma after alas, but the caesure is usually around the halfway point of the line. So if I had to put in the caesure there, I would maybe have to, 'tis true, alas 'tis true, I have gone here and there. And if I'm, when I'm using a Word document on the computer, I'll put an asterisk on the caesure, but when I'm doing it on the page, I like to put a little V. Had made myself a motley to the view. Had made myself a motley to the view. So after myself, gored mine own thoughts, there's a comma, sold cheap what is most dear. After thoughts, made old offences of affections new. Done this to that. So you can see the 2 halves. Made old offences of affections new. And we've got an antithesis there. Old versus new. Quatrain 2. Most true it is that I have looked on truth. Most true it is, it's true, I've done this. So that's how the line is breaking up. These blenches gave my heart another youth. These blenches gave my heart another youth. After blenches, it's early in the line, but if it's anywhere, it's there. And worse essays proved thee my best love. So it'd be after essays. Now all is done. We've got a comma. Have what shall have no end. After done, on the comma. Mine appetite I nevermore will grind. Mine appetite, after appetite. On newer proof, and then we've got a breath, so the breath is in the place of the caesure, so I'll mark the caesure sign still next to the breath. A God in love, caesure, to whom I am confined. Then give my welcome, Sezio, there's a comma, next to my heaven the best, even to thy pure and most loving breast. Even to thy pure and most loving breast. It's almost a strange one, the last one. Even to thy pure and most loving breast. Even to thy pure and most loving breast. It's weird because pure and most loving we should really group together, but it's tempting to put the Sezio after pure. Even to thy pure and most loving breast. But it is pure. It is up pure because in a way, and most loving could almost be in parenthesis. Even to thy pure breast, we could say. You know, remember he's writing in verse. It's 10 beats to a line. It's iambic pentameter. Pentameter means 5 of something. Iambs are groups of 2, so it's 5 times 2, 10. Iamb, ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. You occasionally get the odd offbeat line, the 11 beat line, but usually it's in 10. Okay, so let's try the read through of it. Alas, 'tis true, I have gone here and there and made myself a motley to the view. Gored my own thoughts, sold cheap what is most dear, made old offences of affections new. Most true it is that I have looked on truth advance and strangely, but by all above these blenches gave my heart another youth, and worse essays proved thee my best of love. Now all is done, have what shall have no end. Mine appetite I nevermore will grind on newer proof, to try an older friend, a God in love, to whom I am confined. Then give me welcome, next my heaven the best, even to thy pure and most loving breast. Okay, so what's he talking about? The last is true, I've gone here and there and made myself a motley to the view. I've made a fool of myself. Gored mine own thoughts, sold cheap what is most dear, made old offences of affections new. I've basically been in disgrace. I've been sleeping around, getting drunk, being a damn fool, having a good old time, but perhaps degrading others in the way I've degraded old loves. Most true it is that I have looked on truth advance and strangely. Yeah, I've looked at pure, truthful things in a weird way. But by all above, these blenches gave my heart another youth. But by doing all this stuff, these things rejuvenated me. And worse essays proved thee my best love, and the worst things I did reminded me that you're the best person I've met. So it's a bit rich, really. He's sort of saying, you know, I cheated because it helped me appreciate you more. Anyway, now all is done. Have what shall have no end. So now I've finished with those ways. Have what shall have no end. So I give you my undying love. Maybe after these confessions you don't want it, but you know, that's what he's saying. Mine appetite I nevermore will grind on newer proof. So my lusts I nevermore will sharpen, grind, I will nevermore by sleeping around. It's very funny, this poem. It's, you know, I slept with all those other people to make myself a better lover for you. Will they believe that? Maybe. I mean, there's a truth in it. Mine appetite I nevermore will grind on newer proof, to try an older friend, a God in love, to whom I am confined. So, let's see. Now all is done, have what shall have no end. Mine appetite I nevermore will grind on newer proof, to try an older friend, a God in love, to whom I am confined. So I'll not sleep around anymore, I'll stay with you. I'm confined with you. This poem could depend a lot on how you say it. You could be, this could be done almost in a morose way. You could be regretting this decision of yours. Then give me welcome, next my heaven the best. So let me back, because you're the closest thing to heaven, even to thy pure and most loving breast. So basically, I guess this lover's been dumped for messing around, and then he's saying, let me back, because all that messing around was just me trying to make myself a better lover for you. So give me welcome next, my heaven the best, because you're the, you know, even to their pure and most loving breast. So I know I cheated, but it was for you. So let me back. But why would someone want to come back? Well, it's because, you know, vice is a cup that never ends. It's addiction. And addiction, you lose your home. And sometimes it's better to have the home than these pleasures.